This is the Domain Magnate Show, where you'll learn everything you need to know about buying, optimizing, and selling online businesses with your host, Micheal Bereslavsky.
On this episode with Mohit Tater from Blackbook Investments, we discussed the recent industry trends, the drop in the selling multiples for content sites, the recent changes in Google updates, monetization, SEO, growing websites, setting up some new funds. Also, a quick update on where Blackbook Investments is in the past year and a half since our last episode. Our previous episode was episode number 31, and Blackbook Investment manages content websites and different small funds, group buys, and individual purchases for people, similar to what we do at Domain Magnate. And so I hope you enjoy this chat with my good friend Mohit. Hi Mohit, how are you today?
Hey Micheal, I'm good. Always good to be back here chatting with you. It's been a while since we last spoke, but yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, so good. It's been a year and a half. Yeah, it's interesting.
Time.
Yeah,
in the website investing space for sure.
Yeah, it's like a really long time. Actually, quite a lot of things change. So let's just dive into that. What's the biggest change you are seeing in the industry in this past year and a half?
More Google updates every month, maybe sometimes 2 per month. So that is something which has been, just keeping us on our toes, to be honest. Not just us, I mean everyone in the industry, I'd say. And it's just gotten so uncertain and difficult to keep up with all these updates, I'd say. And I think September had 2 updates. One was the product review update and one was the general core update. So that was crazy, if I be honest with you. So that has been the one big thing this year that I've seen, Google coming up with more and more updates more frequently, I'd say.
Yeah, it's sort of both a good thing and a bad thing. It's good when you're buying, because previously there would often be an issue. Then like if the updates are every 3 months or 4 months or something like that, and you buy a website and maybe a couple months later it just drops and it's sort of too late, you already bought it. And now it's every month, so you kind of have so there is enough updates that the site have lived through that it seems safe.
Yeah, that's true. But it's played out with me because I've been we buy sites frequently. So now that when we go to buy sites, we want to wait for the update to get over before we can buy the site. And by the time it's over, another one hits. And then you're like, okay, let's wait for this to get over. And then we're going to buy. So that's kind of, getting tricky. But of course, if you identify the right assets and if all the fundamentals are good, I don't think there's too much risk. There's always will be a certain amount of risk that even good sites will get penalized because some sites do and would slip through the cracks. Google's algo might not, might flag them as bad or something, whatever. But that would be just bad luck, to be honest. And I don't want to be caught into that spot, even after doing all the due diligence and all, checking everything out properly, and still you get hit. That would be the worst thing to happen to anyone, I'd say.
Yeah. From my experience, also what I'm seeing is, it's interesting because the updates have become a little bit more moderate. So it also depends on the quality of sites. But previously, you get hit, you lose 70% of traffic. The site is gone. And now, you lose 20%. Yeah, it's bad, but it's fine. We can recover it 30%.
But the good part is that, I've seen sites bouncing back too by, if you fixed what was wrong, if you identified and fixed what was wrong, sites do have bounced back in no time. So that's also quick. Google's responding faster to your updates, basically. So that's a good thing, So overall, I think it's good for the industry in the sense that only the best of the best would remain, and best of the best in terms for the reader, basically the consumer of the content. They will be served the best content, and all the publishers like us, we have to be, up our game to publish the best possible content out there and give the best user experience to the readers. So it'll weed out all the low quality players, I'd say, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know about the readers, to be honest. Lately, I've been quite frustrated with Google. Say I'm searching for something simple, and for example, I was searching one time, what is the tire pressure I need to put in my motorbike here, And so I, like I write down the typewriter, and all I get is these huge articles, like 5,000 words. And I'm just like, just give me the number. I don't need to know all the, like, I don't need to know everything about the tires and all that stuff. I just need like the number. And sometimes
I guess no one optimized. Yeah.
Sometimes Google gives you right away, and then it's nice, and I don't need to click. But if it does not, then it's like I have to do the research.
I think the SEO did not optimize for the feature snippet properly. It's not showing up.
That's possible, but also it's kind of annoying for people, because now we have to have more time just to find something.
It is, and
Google
it's people like us, to be honest. Yeah, it's people like us.
We are sort of responsible because we are doing this kind of sites. But Google made the rules.
Yeah, we know more than we should about Google, so that's why we try to please Google. Whereas if someone who's a genuine writer and doesn't know much about SEO and Google, they would just write it normally and not do a 4,000 word article on one question. So exactly, I mean, in a way, we are responsible, I'd say, but hopefully this changes.
Yeah. So you mentioned the trend of more frequent update, which is obviously good for buying and sort of easier things. And we're also seeing sites recovering faster. One interesting thing I've noticed is there are many sites that you buy and you see this in Google Analytics, it go down and then it recovered. And I'm often thinking, like, is that a good thing in general? Is that a bad thing? What do you think if you're buying a site and you see that in the history?
So it's like a double-edged sword. Getting hit is not good. So anything that got hit is bad in our books. But then getting recovered is also a good thing. That this was good enough that Google recognized that was good, and then recovered the site got back. But then there's always an uncertainty that remains. Like if the site got hit once, there's a possibility that it might get hit again. So you always have to weigh in that risk when you are looking to purchase something that has got hit in the past. But for me, if I were to go for it, like if everything checks out well, if the fundamentals are right, and if it's playing by the book, content is good quality, everything is legit, then even if it got hit and it got recovered, I'd probably go for that if it's a good site.
For me, I always like to have just a very smooth trajectory. If you have a very well-established site, many years old,
that's the best.
And that's the best. No hits, no recoveries, nothing.
That is the best. Even if it's a slow growth,
rare.
It's fine.
It's sort of rare these days. Yeah,
it's rare because there's always big fluctuations. The best would be to have a steady, slow growth. Even if it's slow, that's fine. I don't need explosive growth. As long as it's got a stable history of stable growth, it would be best. But we don't find them anymore.
Yeah. And so in terms of trends, in terms of what Google wants from the webmasters, are you seeing any changes, or are there the same things that are just targeting bad backlinks, bad content?
I think they're still doing the same, more of it and more frequently, more rigorously, with their product review updates and everything. But I still think that I don't believe too much in the info to commercial content ratio, which a lot of people have written about, like 70-30 or 80-20, whatever. I think if a site is presenting information in a good way that it is supposed to present, whether it be buying guides or anything, as long as it's legit, the products have been tested, their product images, original images, all of that. I think 100% affiliate site can also do well. I don't think that you necessarily need to have info content in a good ratio to be able for a site to be successful. I think it is true to some extent, but I don't think that you need 70% info content or 80% info content to be able to, make a site compatible or, good in Google's books, I think.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. So for me, we often look at the EAT indicators, but also kind of getting a feel for the site. There are so many affiliate sites nowadays that are it's very clear that it's someone who wrote a bunch of posts without testing on trying anything. And then there is the sites that people actually buy the product, they make the video, it's clear that they know what it's
proper
about.
Thing. Yeah, it's a proper site. Yeah.
So for me, if I see a review site for someone who actually buys and tests these products and uses them, that's perfect, because it's supposed to be a review site, right? While if you look at a typical Amazon review site, and it's like every single article is top 15, so and so.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. But yeah, another trend that I've seen is that the rise of the display ads, again, I'd say. So display ads are making a comeback because they were not so hot some time ago and everyone used to dislike them. Of course, as a user, I dislike ads, of course, but that has come back up as a major source of revenue. And people are targeting the info content method, basically just write info content, low keyword difficulty, lower difficulty keywords, target them, even if they have no volume, zero volume keywords, target them, write info content, and put on display ads on the site, start making money sooner rather than later with display ads. And like Mediavine, AdThrive, Ezoic, all of these companies are doing pretty good, I think. And a lot of people are adding display ads to their affiliate sites or removing affiliate and adding display ads only, or for the new sites that they're starting, they're just doing display ad sites with info content. So because, they're easier, not easier, I'd say, but yeah, easier to write about because there's two things good about that, because you're writing about lower difficulty keywords. So relatively easier to rank, of course, compared to buying guides. And also you don't need too many backlinks to rank as you would because this money pages for commercial content, because you need good backlinks, good authority to rank for the tough keywords. Whereas people I'm seeing are just writing good info content, high quality, of course, and ranking without too many links and making good money with ads. So that's a good formula that's going on right now.
Yeah, I agree. In general, it seems like display ads have just become more effective also. It seems like the revenues, like the targeting is better, the revenues are better.
Exactly. The RPMs have gotten really good for display ads. So that's why they're now competing with affiliate revenue, if I'm being honest, that way. So
I would not say, I mean, if you have a general site maybe, but the sites on like really affiliate sites that are in a specific kind of affiliate niche.
Yeah, I'm talking about general sites.
But yeah, general
sites. Yeah.
Yeah, so for us, I would say we still prefer affiliate sites in general, but like we are very selective. So we only buy affiliate sites that are really sort of real, like by a real person who was passionate about the industry, about the topic, about something, and like made some real reviews, which are quite rare, but like they're very good quality, because the typical, and it's interesting, by the typical affiliate sites are really low quality. Like it's just always Amazon reviews, while the typical display ad site is actually reasonably good quality. So then what we see on the marketplace is kind of more higher quality display ad sites. Yeah.
Exactly. So
but I would say like we still prefer buying affiliate sites, because there's just so many more things you can do as long as you get a good one. You can and just recently we bought this website, and we were able to just double the CPA rate on the main affiliate program. Nice. Because we have an affiliation with them, we have some other sites with them, and they're like, oh, this is nice, like now you suddenly have like a lot more leads. We'll just give you a high rate and so on. And they also like very nice to work with, because like many of these affiliate programs, I'm talking about like mid-tier affiliate programs, not like too small where it's like one person, not too big like Amazon, because they don't care about you. But the mid-tier one, for them you are a really valuable affiliate customer, as we are.
True that, because you're running good sales for them.
Like we have a few of those, and they get on calls with us. We look at our website, that tell us like, here is the website we have that is like similar to yours, but has the highest conversion. And they're like, perfect, we'll just copy their design, whatever. And they're like, okay, these are the offers you should promote because we're in season, and it's really useful.
Right. That's true. So I mean, we're doing affiliate too. Ideally, we like to mix it up and have at least display ads and affiliate as two sources of income. We're trying to avoid purely affiliate plays. So we still do them, but like you said, if they're properly legit sites being, doing proper reviews, only then we'd go for them. Otherwise, we'd like to, keep a mix of both, or purely display ads is also fine with us. Because then we can introduce affiliate into that.
It can also be a bit risky. Like we have sites that are somewhat dependent on a specific affiliate program. And so one we had, and at some point we just decided to lower commission, and that means basically 20% lower income for us. And well, there is nothing we can really do. We talk to them, and so on, but we are not big enough to impact their decision, and there is not much alternative. So that is of course the risk.
Exactly.
And what are you seeing in terms of display ads? Are you seeing like a specific one that's paying the most, like Mediavine or Thrive, or are you just mixing them, changing from time to time?
No, we are seeing everything. Mediavine, Thrive, Ezoic, sometimes newer media also. I don't think we have a site with newer media running on it yet, but yeah, we do have Ezoic. But my preference is Mediavine, then Thrive, then Ezoic.
So your highest one would it be Mediavine now?
I would say that, yeah, I would say that.
And for sites, even for sites that qualify for like Mediavine in terms of traffic, and by the way, with Ezoic, with sites that, do you just keep it for smaller sites with low traffic, or you sometimes move the sites that qualify for others as well?
Sometimes, like when we buy, if it's running Ezoic, and if it qualifies for Mediavine, we'll move it to Mediavine. If it doesn't qualify, we'll keep running it on Ezoic. But for new sites that don't have display ads that we're running, we ideally go for Mediavine as our first choice that way. We don't switch ad networks too much, honestly, because it's a whole lot of process, and then you don't know if it's going to improve or not. So sometimes it's not worth it to do that. So yeah, based on the size of the site, like the bigger sites, definitely I want them on Mediavine.
Okay, that's interesting. We actually prefer Thrive nowadays, so we get all the sites we can to Thrive if we see higher rates there. But yeah, switching is troublesome.
It is troublesome.
What we've been able to do is, like for example, with Thrive, if we have it on another network, we would show them the site and ask them if they are pretty sure that it's gonna do well, and usually the managers are, they're not like trying to be pushy, like come to us, bring everything to us. They're usually like fairly
reasonable,
honest,
and
they would tell you like, it's not gonna work well for us, so like give it a try.
That's good. So, that's good. But I think support from Mediavine, and even like the support for all three companies is good. I somehow just prefer Mediavine more. Ads are pretty much equal, like it's not too far, like it's equally good, I'd say.
What about Google AdSense?
What's that?
Right. There was a time
Google AdSense is only good. Google AdSense is only good in one place, which is when you're buying a site that's running AdSense. So,
but then you want to move it to something different right away.
Of course. So it's only good when it's on someone else's site that
you're buying it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then you can move it to your site. Like you can move to another network. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a weird issue with Google AdSense recently that so have the account, the company account with AdSense, we couldn't get it verified because it needs to be someone, like, because we have a US company, but like I don't have the US ID or whatever, and they just don't like me.
They like, it's a pain. We're facing the same issue.
I don't think they know that there is like foreign owners of US companies. Somebody
I'm sure
needs
they
to
know.
tell Google.
I'm sure they know, but they don't care, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a few $1,000s stuck in one account, and I haven't been able to verify it, honestly.
What do you do?
I don't know. I'm trying to change the address for that account, honestly. They're not letting me, but I have to submit proof that I've changed the address for the business, and I'll send it to someone I know in the US instead of the registered agent's address where it is not received, or they don't send it to a PO box, whatever it is. I'm going to get it sent to an acquaintance, a friend, that postcard, and hopefully it works. But for that, I'll have to change the address on the account, and for that, I have to give them a proof of change of the address. So it's tedious. It would have been much easier if I had a US ID, which I don't. So.
Yeah, it's also the process become more complicated. Like to add a website, you have to edit, you have to request permission, you have to wait a few days until it's added, and then you put the ads, and that might take a few days. It used to be so easy. Yeah, it used to be so
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I remember,
that's
like 10 years ago, you just put the same code on all the website, nothing, no problem. And that's it. Yeah. And now.
Yeah, it should have gotten easier. Should have gotten easier now with time, but it's gotten the other way. Yeah.
Have you used the ad exchange, their advanced, the premium version of AdSense?
No, I don't think so. Not directly. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah.
We've had a brief experience with that for one of the websites we acquired. It had that thing. It was using it. It was approved for it. It was quite complex to use. It was a few years ago, but we never quite figured out what to get there. And yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
so
Google,
what's the requirement? What's the requirement? That they need.
I'm not sure the current one, but the site we acquired at the time it had a very high traffic, like tens of millions of visitors.
Maybe that's why.
And then it dropped when we acquired it, but the account stayed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's the requirement. Probably higher than most others.
I definitely higher than most of the others. Yeah.
It's nice though for AdThrive. I think it's a recent change that you can now add a second site with only 30,000 visitors. Previously it was 100, and now it's 35. At AdThrive. Like if you have one, like for the first website, it's 100,000 minimum per month, and now if you have one website, you can add another 30,000 minimum. So that's pretty nice.
Last time I think I checked, maybe it was a while back. I don't know. AdThrive used to accept 25,000, right? Not 100,000.
The media one.
First site. Media one was 50,000.
Yeah, media one is 50. It used to be 25 for like second site, but now I think it's 50 for all sites. Yeah.
For MediaVine. I think it was 50 for the first and 25 or 30 for the second. But now, as you're saying, it's 50 for all. But AdThrive used to do 25,000 for each site, no?
AdThrive used to do, no, it used to be one. I don't remember how it used to be actually. We've only used it for a couple of years. I don't know what before, but the couple of years we've been using it, it's been like, it's like 100 for first and then 30 for next. Yeah.
I need to check it again then. Yeah. Okay.
Besides the Google, there is some interesting trends we are seeing in terms of price multiples. It looks like everything is falling. What are you seeing?
Yeah, kind of, I would say. I mean, maybe I think the COVID, like everything, COVID increased the prices for everything, including websites. Now they're going back to pre-COVID levels. Yeah, not too much, I'd say, maybe 2-3x, 4x, maybe not too much of a drop, but yeah, still significant. I'd say 10% drop in multiples, if you were to ask me, because I've seen people accepting offers anywhere from 28x to 34x. So in the recent past.
Yeah, and previously, I guess it's more obvious because there was a big gap also between the listing prices and kind of the selling prices, right? And people would be asking something crazy like 55, and now they're
exactly
30. So that might seem like it could, but you're probably right. It's not such a huge gap. Then you look at there. So maybe previously the average was somewhere between like 35, 40, right? And now it's like 30, 35, something like that.
About that. Yeah, about that. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Exactly. That's what I've seen. And, but more and more deals coming to the market. There's more activity in the market in general right now. There's so much activity.
When do you think that trend started? When do you think that the prices started to fall? Because it's been going up for quite a while before that.
Consistently. I think this year, because of the multiple Google updates, people have panic selling also. I've seen that, and they want to get out. Like I know someone personally who has been trying to sell their site for about 350K or something at 35x, and they could not get takers at 35x, and even at 32x, I don't think they had any takers. So, and it's been on the market for a few months now. So it's very weird at times how things play out. But yeah, I think I would say sometime in Q2 it started, because with more and more updates, people are wanting to sell now and just make an exit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what we are seeing as well. That the interesting thing is people might still be asking the same price we used to be asking before, like a 40x or so. But previously, if you offered them 30, they would just laugh at you. But now they're like, okay, let's talk, or maybe like let's make a deal. Yeah, so different.
I know.
And
I know, because
yeah,
it hasn't sold. Exactly.
but also
exactly.
we have to lower prices as well. Like we have a few sites for sale, we could not sell for some time, and we tried to sell. We usually sell like 37, 38, and now we start lowering as well. And
yeah, it's not easy to sell.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, it's not as easy. I'd say, you know, you have to make effort to sell.
Yeah. What are you guys? Where are you selling? How much are you usually selling for? What multiples?
To be honest, we haven't sold a big site this year. We're just holding on for this year right now. We have plans to sell some next year, Q1 and Q2. And I mean, as long as we can get the market price, we're happy, because like us being the most in touch with the market, expecting unrealistic multiples when buying or selling would be unrealistic, you know. So that should be uncalled for at least us, you know, because we know the market. So yeah, as long as it's in line with the market prices, we're good to sell. But we don't want to distress sell. We don't want to, you know, sell for like liquidate or something, but market price. But I've seen that, you know, even selling at market price or even a little below market price has gotten difficult. So it's just like we got to market listing more, because there's a lot of listings in the market, or websites for sale that way.
Do you think this has a lot to do with quality, that like medium quality sites are dropping in multiples while the higher quality sites are still similar and maintaining?
Probably. Yeah, I can make an educated guess that can be true, because in the last few months, I know another guy I know personally. He listed on a platform, let's say a marketplace, and he could not sell for 3 months. He got to me before he listed on that platform. I passed on that time, but I helped him list and advised him to get how to get the best value, because the number I gave him was a little below his expectations, but it was a market multiple. He was not able to sell for anywhere close to that one. He was not able to sell at all, by the way. Now he's ready to sell for much lower than that. And it's come back to me. There's been 2-3 months gap and the site did not sell. He's back to me with a 20% or 25% reduced price that I had offered him that time, that he had not, you know, less than that also. And he didn't accept that price that time. So it's not easy. Like I say, it's gotten difficult. Just because your site makes some money every month doesn't mean that it'll sell. So yeah, it makes me kind of scared for when we are to sell. Let's see.
It is scary because like we've been buying sites. Like if you're buying sites all throughout, then we have sites we acquired for much higher multiples that were reasonable at the time, right? And now we might have to, well, not now, but later we might have to sell them for lower multiples. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, so that's a little scary.
And that's especially challenging because kind of investors, they look at that, they see the multiples keep growing, and now the trend's reversed, and we might have to sell. So yeah, that can be challenging. What do you think we'll see next? Will the trend continue? Will it go down like below 30 or stabilize, or to go up?
I don't think it will go below 30. No, not below 30. Somewhere between 30 and 35. I think 32 and 36 is going to probably kind of stabilize here. I've heard more and more investor money coming into the market, like private equity, and even someone was saying VC funds also. I don't know, maybe it's far-fetched, but private equity is definitely showing interest in this space. And just like what happened with FBA businesses, I'm afraid it might happen with content businesses, that if they come in with good money, they can push the prices up again. And when, you know, they see that it's not working as it was meant to, there'll be just a lot of listings on the market for sale, and multiples will go down again. I hope it doesn't happen. And also, I don't think private equity will put in so much money for content sites that can fail. Maybe they'll probably buy bigger brands like Wirecutter or something like on those lines. There are bigger brands, not just content sites. So yeah, so it's in a good way. It's good in a way that if there's more money pours into the market. Yeah, because I don't think they'll be buying $100,000 sites. So
yeah. My guess would be that the prices would stabilize a bit, but there's going to be a much bigger gap between higher quality, lower quality sites.
Yeah, that is true.
what we've seen in the past is the prices have been pretty similar on different marketplaces, and I think as the market is becoming more educated, people are learning a little bit more, mostly through their mistakes by buying sites, buying a site for $100,000, losing $100,000. There's been a few of those, and
I've seen people like that. Actually, I don't want to plug in Blackbook, whatever, but I've seen people come to me who have made a purchase of a website that they thought was a good price and was a good site. In most cases, it's either not a good site or it's not the right price, or it's both, and they've overpaid for it, and they can't do anything about it now. It's gotten hit 50, 60, 70%, and now they want us to recover it or manage it or grow it, whatever. But some people learn their lesson by doing it. Some learn from others' mistakes. So I've seen people like that.
Yeah, same. We've had a few customers that had similar experiences, unfortunately, that they just sites that they bought by themselves. And besides, so in addition to not being able to really understand the due diligence and the risks, they also weren't able to manage it very well. So that made it much worse. And sometimes they would use some like really dubious SEO services and so on. And
exactly.
So it happened. So I think that like one of the trends is that people are realizing that there is a higher risk, and with more Google updates, we're seeing that sites get hit, that the risk is higher than they expected, and so there's less desire to buy them.
I know.
That's probably a good thing for us. Yeah, that's a good thing for us.
It's a good thing for us, but it's a bad thing in a way also, because if it's more uncertain, if it's more risky, they might just not want to do it at all, whether with us or without us. They're like, this is too risky for us. Like, I don't want to do it anyway. So with you or without you. So that's the risk that's there, with these multiple frequent updates, and it's getting more risky. So it's like a double-edged sword again. It's good for us in a way that they would not want to do it themselves, but then there might be a possibility that they don't want to do it at all. So
that's true. So if I had to guess, I would say the prices might go a little bit lower, like on average, but probably stabilize. And I think it'll just see like a really serious gap between quality sites, because even before, like even in the past few years, I've had friends that have like really high quality sites. There is no backlinks built, nothing shady, like really just, and they make their own pictures, they have their own designers, like everything, and they usually sell for like 50x. Even a few years ago, this kind of sites were selling in 50x. And I think this kind of sites will continue to sell for like 50x, maybe a little bit lower now, 45 or something. But that's probably what we're gonna see. And then lower quality sites will just sell much lower. Like there is, and that's another big trend, by the way, with expired domains, right? Do you guys buy expired domain sites, or what do you see?
No, not really. Not really.
Not at all?
Really.
Even if it's
unless I'm experimenting it, unless if it's connected, even then, it's too much of a risk to take with the investor money, to be honest. So I rather give less returns than get their principal in negative. So so that way I do it with my own money to experiment, but not with investor-owned websites out there.
We buy, like sometimes we would buy something that is very relevant, and it's like very similar to the domain, to what it was before, but generally try not to. And I think that is the big trend. There are so many of these sites now for sale, because it's so much easier to rank if you have this previous history. And there are so many sites like that. People just build them up very quickly, and then they rank, they get the traffic and revenue, and then they sell them. And I think I think these kind of sites are going to drop quite a lot in multiple as the market is becoming more educated, and maybe like the marketplaces will start really differentiate between that as well.
Probably.
I could definitely see like Empire Flippers introducing some new things to mention that.
I think they have a filter. If not a filter, they do mention it on the main summary points on the listing page. It's very clear, like if there are any redirects, 301 or whatever, or if the site is an expired domain, they mention it. So it's a good thing, and people are taking notice and they're being educated now. So yeah.
Yeah, so you have done a few funds with Empire Flippers Capital now, right? Was it how many?
Yeah,
2,
right.
3?
2 funds. One, first and second we didn't do the third. Yeah.
And how did it go? What was your experience like?
That was good so far. Smooth sailing, at least definitely for the second one. The first one we all were new to it, so we were just learning as we went. And second one was much easier to get done, much faster too. Yeah, third one we skipped because I think we had our hands full, and we're just busy growing and managing what we had in round 1 and round 2. Now that it's been about over a year and a half for the first round, things are looking good. We might exit sometime in the next year for the first round. Second round sites we'll keep for the next year, and we are doing round 4 now with the EF. I don't have all the details yet, but it should be sometime soon now. And looking to do anything anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 or 3 million raised this time around. So let's see how that plays out.
All right, very cool. And so how do you find the difference between EF Capital and running your own funds from your perspective?
It's not too different, honestly. I mean, we're doing the same thing essentially at the end of the day. It's just a site. The ownership is different, of course. The structure is still different, but I think EF Capital has built a solid team for themselves, and they've recently raised money for themselves as EF Capital, and they're going to be splitting off of and being their own separate entity, which is a good thing because I think in the future they have some big things planned out, and they're looking to deploy a lot of money every year through operators into buying digital assets and online businesses. So it's overall very good for the industry, I'd say. And I think it's good to be a part of it because you're at the forefront and you get more exposure and you can play with more capital. So with more capital, you can buy bigger businesses and not just $1,000 sites. So yeah, I'm looking to do bigger raises with them in the future and buy bigger businesses with them.
So the $1.5 million that you are planning to do next, how many sites will you buy?
Yeah, I mean, the lower end would be 1.5. We might reach for 2.5 on the higher end. So let's say if you take a $2 million thing, again, it can be anywhere from 3 to 5, I'd say, 3 to 5. Right. Yeah, that would be my number. Yeah, too many is also not good, and 1 or 2 is also not good because then there's risk. So about that.
Yeah, I think now this is more interesting actually, because previously it was the multiples were so high, but now I think it's a lot more interesting because you would also be able to buy sites at much lower margins for EF.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very nice.
And I think they have plans in the future in 2023 when they are fully branched out to allow operators to buy from other places other than EF.
Cool.
That would be really good too, once it pans out.
So for your first website, can you share like what kind of how well is it doing? So from the first fund, how well do you think you'll be able to sell it?
I think we did So we did 2 sites in the first round, and one of them got penalized or hit whatever during migration. So luckily we could renegotiate for that one, and we did a performance-based payout. So we held some money, and we paid for the next 12 months, and we paid the seller out whatever was based on the revenue for the last 12 months. We paid them out a certain amount, which is not the full amount that we agreed on initially, and we renegotiated that. So that one, but it's kind of stable now, and like not growing too fast or anything, but yeah, stable and good cash flow. The other one we could grow fairly well. I think it is up by 50% or something, maybe more. I'll just double check the numbers. I'll have to do a report anyways in Q3. So overall, I think we should be able to exit at a capital gain, definitely. And that being the first round, I think it would be a good achievement for us overall to give a positive ROI. But yeah, the dividend ROI has been good. I think if I remember correctly, it's 15% or something that we've been able to give them, or 12 or 15%. I'll have to check, but that's the dividend ROI that we've given. And once we exit, and if there's any capital gain, they'll add to the total ROI for the portfolio.
All right, very cool.
So yeah, that's going well. Yeah.
And even with the lowered multiples, you think you'd still be able to exit at some decent profit?
I think so. I'm fairly confident. I hope so. And also because we took 3 months to find the right deals, and these two were like not just your run-of-the-mill websites. These two were legit actual sites that were definitely, been around for a long time, favored by Google, all of that. So these are like more than just your random website, basically. So I think they should be, like you said, there's a difference between, what good quality sites can command, 50x, 48x, 45x, and also like low quality sites. So I think my sites fall under the category of, I would say the higher quality sites.
All right, very cool. So so for us, I've noticed our best performing sites were actually the ones where we have allocated pretty much all the revenues to reinvest them. And we had a few sites like that where we had the investor who just didn't want to get any distributions. They just want to reinvest everything. And at first we were a bit hesitant, but that actually worked surprisingly well. Like those sites had tremendous growth. Because when we acquired them a year and a half ago, they were making about $5,000 together per month. It's like like 6,000 or so, and now they are like steady at around 20,000 together. So that's like more than 20,000, like 3-4 times higher in a year and a half. And
that's great.
And usually with most sites we don't put like all the revenue back. We might put like a third or a half. So so what do you think about that? Do you see that if you reinvest more, it grows faster as well?
I see that. And one of our investors specifically asked us to build a portfolio for about $500,000, and they did not want to take out any money from the income. Everything put back into the growth. We actually could not put everything back because the amount of money the portfolio were generating, it didn't seem logical to put everything back. It was a good amount of money every month coming in. So just for the sake of it, we didn't want to put in everything back, but we did put a considerable amount, like more than half, I think, 70-80% back into the growth. And those sites have turned out, the growth has turned out well for those sites. So I think it definitely makes a difference if you put in much more money into the growth.
What about some failures? Did you have any sites that dropped quite a lot in the past year and a half?
Not by a significant margin, I'd say, honestly. So that's been lucky on us or whatever. But 20-30% drops are like not too uncommon, I'd say. But we do things to try and recover from those. Nothing major. 1 or 2 did get hit majorly, but then they somehow, without us doing anything, they got bounced back, basically. So maybe it was a glitch or something, whatever. But luckily, nothing major so far. And the one that did get hit in the round 1, that was also a 35% hit, but then we renegotiated for that, and now it's running stable. So,
Right. What do you guys do in terms of SEO now? How do you manage sites? Do you just add more content? Do you build links? Do you do some more things?
We do all of this, of course. But more. I think these days we're focusing more on on-page stuff and just trying to make it. So we think of ourselves as the searcher and try to see what will appease the searcher and the user, the reader, and then trying to craft content that way. We don't follow too much. We are not doing like too lengthy or too big articles now. As long as they can answer the question or solve a problem, we're going with that. Link building, we have changed our methods in the sense that we're only doing really, really high quality and genuine outreach links. Otherwise, we're okay with not doing them. So that's on the front of link building. But site speed optimization, EAT is important these days, much important, like adding author bios, even going as far as adding LinkedIn profiles to authors, which are legit. So a lot of that, I think, is going to help a lot in the coming time. So, and adding more content is, of course, a good thing, but it does not always result in a positive ROI. For sites, you've seen that the amount we put into content did not even, that content, new content that we put out did not even make enough money to pay for itself. So it was the old content that was ranking. So it's not always about adding more content. It's a mix of all things, but I think more can be achieved by doing stuff on page that doesn't cost money per se, like articles, than just randomly writing articles left and right. And, so yeah, not saying that, of course, adding new content will not move the needle. It will, of course, but sometimes it's not the only thing to do.
Yeah, especially with display sites, you might not always get a good ROI on content.
Exactly.
With affiliate sites, it's usually
easier.
Easier. Yeah, it's usually easier to justify more spendings. But it's also, of course, a big deal whether or not there is more scope to expand in that niche.
Exactly.
If the new articles rank.
So
say you got a website with like $10,000 per month in revenue, more or less, in that level. How much content would you say you would be like expecting to add every month? How many articles and how many links? Just roughly on average.
Yeah, very subjective again, honestly, but I'll give you an answer. Nonetheless, we have a site that does 15, 20K a month with 80 articles. Okay. And we have a site that does 10K with about 150 articles. A site that does, again, 10K with 800 articles. No, sorry, 900 articles. So it's very different for each thing, So if there's scope for adding more content, like, we just basically, to make it simple, we map out how much more content possibilities there on that site. Let's say it's got 100 articles and only 100 more can be added, before we can cover the whole niche. So we divide that 100 over whatever number of months we're planning to hold that. Let's say if you're planning to hold that for 15 months, we'll do, 6-7 articles. That comes out to 6-7 articles per month. We'll front load some of that. So we'll do like 10-15 articles every month for the first 3 months, and then average it out so that we complete 100 articles over 12 months, 15 months, and then let the site age for another 5-6 months, 7 months. And for backlinks, it's ad hoc, when needed. So we'll run outreach campaigns. So we'll run them for, let's say, 2-3 months at a go and try and build whatever 50, 60, 100 links, and then stop for a while, and then maybe do a round for another site and then come back to the site later on. So, but yeah, for a site that's doing 10 grand a month, we think of about 5 to 10 links a month, good quality, high quality. Yeah.
Cool. So how many projects are you guys managing currently?
About 20, I'd say, 20, 25. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's that sounds like a good number.
Yeah, it's about right. So yeah, we're looking to expand our team. So of course, if you know anyone who would be a good fit for an affiliate marketing and for a content business setup, please do refer them to me.
What kind of skill set are you looking for? What kind of people are you looking for?
On-page SEO, basically, and link builders, outreach specialists. And also, if someone who knows the whole drill and can manage operation, which is difficult to get, of course.
Yeah. Right, very cool.
Awesome.
What would you say were like some main lessons you've learned in the past couple of years about this sites buying and growing and Google and stuff? Anything new? Any new insights?
No, I think the lessons are still the same. Buy at the right price. The money is made in the buy, so don't overpay for a site, even though however good it is. Pay a fair price for it, but don't pay higher than what it is worth or what you think it is worth. That's always the lesson I tell. And other than that, like we are trying to not put all our baskets in one revenue source. So affiliate, we're trying not to do purely affiliate plays anymore. So that's something that you learn from others' mistakes, luckily. So trying to move away a little bit from affiliate and do a mix of both or purely display ads. We've also gotten to a point where one thing is, we only do the absolute highest quality content right now. I think to our, for the site that, to give you an example, the site that's doing 15, 20K with 70 articles, we are paying the writer 20 cents a word, 25 cents a word, beat that. But the ROI for each article is so high that it's worth it to pay that writer that much.
Is it an affiliate site?
Affiliate site, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is
a mix of both. It's got a mix of both, yeah.
We pay like 3.5 to 5 cents on average. Like sometimes a little bit more. But
yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. our average is, I think, 4 to 6 right now, 5 to 6. So we're only going for the absolute high quality content. We have changed from, we used to do quality and quantity both. We used to do 3 to 4 cents. Now we're doing 5 to 6, 7 cents even. We've reduced the volume. We just want to focus on quality more than the volume, because based on our experience, we've seen that turning out more articles does not guarantee ROI. If you rather do one good article than 5 mediocre ones, that's better. And even if the amount of money you put into that one article is same as you put into those 5 articles, it's better to do the one article with higher quality content. So
do you try to put like a minimum number of articles on each site? Let's say an article every month or a couple articles every month to keep it fresh?
Yeah, of course. We do that. Yeah. We always have some articles going on each site.
So is there like a general guideline you follow, like at least one article every month or something like that?
Yeah, more than one. It depends on what phase that site is in. It's in the growing stage or the initial front loading stage, or it's in the maintenance stage. Even in the maintenance stage, we add 3 to 4 articles at the very least, per month.
Right. So what's next for Blackbook?
Next for Blackbook is we're doing our group buy. That's getting a lot of attention and interest from investors, because the minimum for that is $25,000 instead of $100,000. That is for the buy and manage or the one-on-one service. But we're getting a lot of inquiries for the one-on-one service also from a lot of investors. So there's generally good interest in the market for websites, and we're doing the group buy in January this year. So we've done 2 successful rounds. We're doing the 3rd round. So it's a rolling group buy. So we keep adding to the same portfolio, and we don't do separate funds. So it's a rolling thing. So we keep adding to that. So January, we opened that one. We already have commitments for, I think, $300,000, $400,000. We haven't even started marketing it yet. And so that's one thing. And one-on-one investors, the second thing. And also the work with EF, I think we're going to double down on that. We're doing round 4 and possibly maybe round 6, I think we'll do next year, because they'll be doing more rounds frequently. So we'll try and participate more into that. And that's why I'm building a bigger team. Right now, we're about 18 full-time people. I want to get that team to 30 people by the end of next year, so that we can manage more sites and have more capacity to serve investors and clients. Yeah.
So how does it work with the rolling group buy? Do people, let's say like the first iteration, people put a certain amount, you bought some sites, and then people want to join. How do you assign them the percentage of the?
So we're not focusing on a capital. We reevaluate the value of the portfolio, but we're not focusing on the growth. This is a dividend focused group buy. We're focusing on the dividends, so the value pretty much remains at par, unless we sell and we realize a gain, which is when we distribute the gain. But other than that, we keep it at par. So if you are coming in with, let's say, 50,000, and if it's a total 500,000 fund, you get 10%. And in the next round, we add more 500,000 more to that, and you don't add anything. So your 10% dilutes to 5% now. 50,000 of a million is 5%, but you are 5% of a million now instead of 500,000. So that way.
But what if the portfolio value grows? Let's say, 2 years later, you haven't sold the sites and the value now is like 50% more. Are you still going to?
No, but then we'll reevaluate the valuation based on the market multiples and assign a percentage based on that multiple to the new investors.
Okay, that's an interesting model.
Yeah, it's got a lot of business modeling behind it. So we're trying to do it in the best way we can. Yeah.
And then can people exit existing investors?
There's a lock-in of 2 years, and then you can exit. You just give us a heads up. Either you can sell your shares to someone else, or we can present them to the other investors in the group. Or thirdly, if both of these things don't work out, we can liquidate one of the assets and pay out.
Okay. And so then the idea is to keep it rolling so people can leave the money and receive dividends. Yeah. And
because we've seen more people
every quarter.
Quarterly dividends. We've been able to manage, I think, 20+% are dividends right now. And what we've seen is more people are interested in getting not a fixed, but I'd say they're more interested in getting an income every month rather than a big chunk of income at the end of 2 years. So there's more demand for dividends than for capital growth. at least in the lower segment, which is 25K and above. Whereas with the one-on-one, the 100K plus investors, for them, capital growth is more important. So it's different.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And how do you find like managing a large number of people? If it's 25, you might have like 40 people or something. You might have 20 people.
40. Yeah, so we have 20, like I said, we have 18 to 20 full-time people right now. We have an office, we have 2 offices rather in India, and we're expanding continuously. We're hiring continuously. We have an HR and my wife, Sneha, she manages a lot of the team. So she's like the actual boss, if I would say. I just focus on getting more business, and she's managing the whole team very, capably and adeptly. So that's, we make a good team, I think. And she's been doing a lot of hiring. She's managing people well, much more than I can. I don't really know how to manage people, honestly. So, and she's very good at it. So it's a good team. So I'm focused on getting more business and then letting her take care of the operations and management, because we have SOPs in place. We have people in place. We have positions in place. So we hire for positions. We have SOPs that people follow. And then I, of course, ideate and do the strategies on a high level, and then they execute it. But we also have very high level people in the team doing the strategies along with me.
Very good. Do you have all your people in an office? Like everyone works in a physical office?
No. It's like 50-50. Half of the people are in an office and half are remote. So we like to keep it hybrid.
That's
so
interesting.
It's flexible for everyone. Yeah.
Do you see a difference in performance?
Yeah, I do. I think I do. But it depends on each individual. Some people are better working at home. Some people need an office. So yeah, it's different, but yeah, for the people who do want an office, we do give them the option to come to an office and work, and they like it there. So yeah.
Right, very cool. Was there anything I haven't asked you that you want to talk about or mention?
No, I think we had a good chat today. It's been a long while since we caught up, so good chatting. And I think I'm going to see you at DCBK anyways in a couple of weeks.
I'm probably not going to be there, but come by to Chiang Mai after.
I'll try, definitely. I'll try. There's Diwali Indian Festival on 24th, but I'm planning to be back in Bangkok for the affiliate conference, affiliate world, I think, 30th of November. I don't know if it'll be there, but if I do drop by that, I'll make a trip to Chiang Mai.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll catch up.
Yeah, I'm playing in a chess tournament during the DCBKK, so I'll probably miss it.
Nice. Is that in Chiang Mai or?
Yeah, it's in Chiang Mai. There's a big international chess tournament. So
awesome, nice. Yeah. All the best.
Well, thank you. So how can people find out more about you and follow you and contact you?
Just go to blackbookinvestments.com or just message me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, or write to me. Best would be to write to me on email, mohit@bbi.xyz, mohit@bbi.xyz. So yeah, just email me.
All right, thanks, Mohit. Good chat.
Thanks, Michael. Good chat. Talk soon again.
Domain Magnate is a leader in buying and selling online businesses with a proven track record of expertise gained from over 300 deals since 2004. To learn more about how we can help you acquire or exit a profitable online business today, head over to domainmagnate.com for more details.